Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into how to tell someone your address and ask for theirs in German. This is super useful for day-to-day chats. We'll go over keywords like address, Postleitzahl postal code, Stadt city, Straße street, and number. Just a heads up, the order is different from English, so keep an eye on that. Let's get started. Guten Tag, everyone. Welcome back. Let's quickly refresh our memory. Remember, means phone number, means to give, is my, and is your. We also learned how to ask and to talk about
Das Wetter,
the weather. We know
es regnet,
means it's raining and
es ist sonnig.
means it's sunny. Today, we'll be building on all of this.
Was ist deine Telefonnummer? Was ist deine Telefonnummer?
Ich gebe dir meine Telefonnummer. Ich gebe dir meine Telefonnummer.
Ich wohne in London. Ich wohne in London. Ich komme aus England. Ich komme aus England.
Awesome. Emily used to live, which is a key verb. Look out for its irregular forms. Ich wohne, I live. Du wohnst, you live. Plus, James asked woher kommst du? Where are you from? Using which means where from. Remember, kommen to come follows woher. Be sure to practice the irregular conjugation of since we use it a lot. Now, let's hear more of their chat.
Wie ist deine Adresse? Wie ist deine Adresse?
Meine Adresse ist Baker Street 221b. Meine Adresse ist Baker Street 221b.
Great. James is asking for the
Postleitzahl.
postal code. Notice how Emily said her address, Baker Street 221b. This shows the German address format.
Was?
Street followed by
Nummer.
number. Don't mix that up like we sometimes do in English. Remember, street, number, postal code, city. It takes some getting used to. Now let's keep listening to their exchange.
Meine Postleitzahl ist in W16. Ich sehe. Meine Postleitzahl ist in W16. Ich sehe. Ich wohne in einem Haus. Ich wohne in einem Haus.
James is asking again.
Wo wohnst du?
Where do you live? Which is a polite thing to do in German. Emily answers.
Ich wohne in einem Haus.
I live in a house. Notice the phrase in einem and in with the indefinite article einem a and. It's important to differentiate between house and Wohnung apartment. You'll get the hang of these subtle differences with practice. Now, let's wrap up their conversation.
Ich wohne auch in einem Haus. Ich wohne auch in einem Haus.
Today, we'll expand on what we've learned by practicing how to politely ask for a neighbor's address. We'll use a slightly more formal phrasing for this situation. We will introduce the phrase Könnten Sie mir bitte Ihre Adresse geben? Which translates to could you please give me your address? Notice the use of Könnten for politeness and bitte for please. It's a key element of respectful German communication.
Könnten Sie mir bitte Ihre Adresse geben? Könnten Sie mir bitte Ihre Adresse geben?
Excellent pronunciation, Anna. Let's break down the sentence a bit more. The Sie is the formal you, crucial when addressing someone you don't know well or in a slightly more formal setting. Using bitte adds a layer of courtesy, and the conditional Könnten makes the request sound less demanding. Remember that politeness is very important in German culture. It is a sign of respect.
Meine Adresse ist Hauptstraße 15, Berlin 10.115. Meine Adresse ist Hauptstraße 15, Berlin 10.115.
Very good, Ben. That's a perfect response. Notice how you included the street name, number, city, and postal code, just as we practiced. The phrasing main address ist my address is a standard and reliable way to provide your address. A slight variation could be ich wohne in, but main address is more direct and common in this context.
Vielen Dank. Könnten Sie mir sagen, wo Sie wohnen? Vielen Dank. Könnten Sie mir sagen, wo Sie wohnen?
Today, we're introducing prepositions that describe where something is located. We'll focus on an in, off on, and neben next to. Understanding these is crucial for describing your surroundings and giving precise directions. We'll illustrate how they work within the context of an address or general location. This adds another layer of detail beyond just stating your address.
Ich wohne neben dem Park. Ich wohne neben dem Park.
Excellent pronunciation, Anna. Notice how neben always indicates proximity. Something is located directly beside something else. It's useful for describing where your house or apartment is relative to a landmark. It's not used to indicate being inside a building, for that we'd use in. Pay close attention to these nuances.
Das Rathaus ist auf dem Marktplatz. Das Rathaus ist auf dem Marktplatz.
Very good, Ben. Here, off signifies that the town hall is on top of or located on the marketplace. Off is frequently used to describe placement on a surface. This is in contrast to in, which refers to containment. Mastering these subtle differences will dramatically improve your German fluency and clarity.
Wo wohnt dein Freund in der Nähe des Bahnhofs? Wo wohnt dein Freund in der Nähe des Bahnhofs?
Excellent question, Anna. You've correctly used in der Nähe to ask about proximity, near. It's a very natural way to inquire about someone's location relative to a landmark. Remember, in der Nähe is an idiomatic phrase and not a direct translation of near. The indirect question structure requires the word order to be adjusted.
Wohnt in der Bahnhofstraße 5. Wohnt in der Bahnhofstraße 5.
We're going to introduce some common adjectives to describe apartments or houses. This will expand on our ability to provide more detail about our living situation. We'll focus on words like modern, alt-old, gerumig spacious, and klein small. Paying attention to gender agreement with these adjectives is key.
Meine Wohnung ist sehr modern. Meine Wohnung ist sehr modern.
Excellent. Notice how modern is used correctly. Adjectives in German often change their ending depending on the gender and case of the noun they describe. Wohnung is feminine, so modern becomes moderne. We will need to learn these rules gradually. For now, focus on correct usage in simple sentences like this one.
Ich wohne in einem alten Haus. Ich wohne in einem alten Haus.
Very good, Ben. Alt changes to alten because house is neuter in gender and in the accusative case here. The n ending is crucial to making your sentence grammatically correct. Remember, recognizing the gender of nouns is essential for correct adjective usage. This is a concept we'll revisit often. Now, let's move on to asking about the size of someone's apartment or house. We'll introduce the question wie groß ist deine Wohnung? How big is your apartment? We'll also practice responding with adjectives like gerumig spacious, klein small, or providing a numerical size, for example, 80 Quadratmeter.
Wie groß ist deine Wohnung, Ben? Wie groß ist deine Wohnung, Ben?
Perfect. You've correctly formed the question. Notice that why how always begins a question asking about quantity or degree. Remember to maintain a questioning intonation when speaking. The structure here is straightforward. Why adjective, noun ist your subject. This pattern is extremely useful.
Meine Wohnung ist geräumig. Meine Wohnung ist geräumig.
Today we're going to expand on describing where you live, moving beyond just the address itself. We'll focus on what's around your house or apartment, the local amenities, landmarks, and general environment. This is crucial for giving directions and painting a picture of your neighborhood. We'll use adjectives and some basic descriptions of buildings and nature.
Ich wohne in der Nähe eines großen Parks. Ich wohne in der Nähe eines großen Parks.
Excellent.
In der Nähe von.
Translates to near or in the vicinity of. Pay close attention to the grammatical case. Von follows the preposition in, but the noun after in must be in the genitive case. While genitive case is becoming less common in spoken German, it's important to recognize here and learn how to correctly use it with prepositions like in when indicating proximity. Understanding this will improve your accuracy.
Es gibt eine Apotheke gegenüber meinem Haus. Es gibt eine Apotheke gegenüber meinem Haus.
Perfect
Gegenüber.
means opposite or across from. Notice how it's used here. It describes the pharmacy's relation to Ben's house. The placement of
Gegenüber.
implies a direct line of sight and spatial proximity. The main shows possession, making it my house. This structure is a common way to describe buildings relative to each other.
Ein Supermarkt ist hinter dem Rathaus. Ein Supermarkt ist hinter dem Rathaus.
Today, we'll address a common point of confusion: postal codes. While typically 5 digits, some areas, particularly in former East Germany, use 6 digits. The core concept remains the same. It identifies a specific delivery region within Germany. Understanding this slight difference will prevent delivery errors and show attention to detail when communicating addresses.
Meine Postleitzahl hat 6 Ziffern. Meine Postleitzahl hat 6 Ziffern.
Excellent. Notice the subtle emphasis when saying
Postleitzahl.
it's crucial to clearly articulate each digit. It's not 1, 2, but rather 1, 2. This is especially important with 6-digit codes where mispronunciation can lead to serious delivery mistakes. Consider it a crucial element of address communication.
Können Sie mir Ihren Postleitzahl sagen? Können Sie mir Ihren Postleitzahl sagen?
That's a perfect, polite question. Notice the use of Könnten Sie. It's much more courteous than a direct demand. It demonstrates respect for the other person and is the expected way to ask for information in German. Remember that politeness is highly valued in German culture, and using such phrases helps build rapport.
Ich wohne in der Nähe eines Bäckers. Ich wohne in der Nähe eines Bäckers.
You've correctly used in der Nähe. It literally means in the vicinity of. Note that in der Nähe von is also correct, but slightly more formal. It's a good way to describe a general proximity without specifying an exact location. Practice using it in various contexts to internalize its usage.
Gibt es eine Apotheke in Ihrer Straße? Gibt es eine Apotheke in Ihrer Straße?
That's a very practical question, Ben. Using gibt es is a great way to inquire about the presence of something. Remember that German often requires a more direct construction when asking about existence. Using a question structure like this demonstrates your expanding vocabulary and ability to engage in real-world conversations.
Ja, eine Apotheke ist gleich hier. Ja, eine Apotheke ist gleich hier. Ich lebe in Berlin, einer großen Stadt. Ich lebe in Berlin, einer großen Stadt.
Meine Nummer ist 12. Meine Nummer ist 12.
Perfect. Gleich hier is a great way to indicate something is very close by. It's informal but commonly used. Notice the use of ist to connect the subject ein Apothek and the location gleich hier. This is a fundamental grammar concept essential for expressing location and existence in German. Excellent. Gerumig doesn't change because it's an adjective that doesn't decline. This is also important to remember. Some adjectives simply remain the same regardless of the noun's gender or case. This simplifies things, but it's crucial to know which adjectives behave this way. Excellent follow-up, Anna. You've combined our learned phrases seamlessly. Using wohnen here continues to reinforce the verb's association with location. The addition of sagen to say just makes the sentence flow naturally. Keep practicing interlinking these phrases to build more complex conversations. So, we've gone over how to state your address and ask someone for theirs. A frequent mistake is forgetting the right address order. Remember, street, number, postal code, city. Another is incorrectly conjugating.
Wohnen.
Be sure to practice those forms. And don't translate directly from English. German has its own rules. Be cautious with prepositions in and